If anything is going to kick off, this could be a flashpoint. Right on cue, hundreds of West Ham faithful are making their way past the pub.
A group of 400 West Ham fans up the top there, but they're not expecting them to walk down in ones and twos, they're expecting them to come down en masse.
So far, the fans seem happy to just hurl chants at each other. But to stop them hurling anything else, specially trained officers called spotters are ready to identify the known troublemakers.
We've got spotters that are out from West Ham and our local station, and they know the faces, they know the people, they know the sort of issues that relate to his supporters. So they're visiting pubs, locations where supporters are gathering.
As the West Ham fans near the entrance, the volume of chanting increases. With only minutes before kick-off, the tension between the fans has reached boiling point. A wall of police keep the Chelsea fans in the pub and allow the West Ham fans to get into the ground. But there is always someone that slips the net.
I've just had 2 complaints from 2 members of the public about your behaviour, that you were behaving aggressive towards them.
Rather than arrest the man, they issue him with a banning order, which means he's got to get out of the area and stay out, or he'll be taking a trip down to the station.
You're going home, all right? Yeah. You've obviously played your luck too much today, haven't you? And I think you've been more than lucky not getting nicked, pal. All right.
As the game gets underway, all the police can do now is brace themselves for the final whistle. Far from the crowds, on the other side of the borough, robbery squad officers have responded to a 999 call. Witnesses say they've seen a man climbing into a flat through a window.
Is anyone in the address?
No, no one's said about I'm coming in the house.
So no one's in the address?
No, no one's said about
So how did you get in?
Through the window.
Through the window?
Yes.
You climbed through the window?
Yes, this is the truth.
The man is claiming that he's gone into the flat to get his mobile phone.
How can we establish your side of the story? How can we prove that what you're saying is true?
Prove it. My granny's not in, I don't know where she is right now.
So you're related to the occupant of this property, you're not sure what her first name is, and you don't have her telephone number?
I had got on my phone. But
I thought you said you phoned her before you came round.
Unconvinced of his version of who gave him permission to enter the flat, they then ask him what his mobile phone number is.
What's your old phone number?
07983 and then 078 or 83, I'm not sure what it's like that, but I know it's 83 down there.
There's an 8 and a 3 somewhere in the number?
Yeah, at the first 4 digits.
His story is not ringing true, so they decide to search him.
Now, it's quite a bit of money as well, isn't it?
What do you mean by a bit?
Oh, quite a bit of money, as in more than just a little bit. No?
It's not quite, because usually I have 700-800, that's not quite a lot of money.
You normally carry £700 or £800 around with you. Why is it folded over in...
Because I do kind of things like that.
You do that, do you?
Yeah, that's...
Put that back in your pocket.
No problems.
We search that, Katie. You have.
Why have I got that on me right now? Because this is not my money, I need to pass it on to someone else.
Pass it on to someone else?
Yes.
So it's not your money?
No.
But if it's not his money, whose is it?
I borrowed of my wife's cousin money, and I borrowed it from £2 grand because I bought a car, and I paid them the money, and if I give them this to £300, I still need to give them £1,000 on top.
I'm getting confused, to be honest.
The police's patience is wearing thin, but they give him one more chance to explain what the money is for.
So you've got a car. What's the registration number? You don't know what the registration number is of your car?
The man now appears to have a car, but he doesn't know the registration number and doesn't seem to have insurance. The robbery squad's had enough and the man is arrested. Back at Chelsea's Stamford Bridge football ground, the final whistle is about to blow. Hammersmith and Fulham police are bracing themselves for the fans to come out of the ground.
What happens here is the West Ham and the Chelsea fans all come out and mix. And let's put it this way, they ain't going to send Christmas cards to each other, these fans. So us in the middle there can stop the little cheap shot, a little bit of mucking about.
Slowly, the fans start to emerge. The good news for the police is the final score.
Like I say, it's just come through, it's 1-1. Hopefully that might be mild and we'll see how it goes.
As the minutes tick by, the trickle of fans turns into a flood. The police immediately jump in to pull out potential troublemakers before anything can kick off.
Yeah, you want to be a bit fine, yeah? You keep it still, otherwise we go the other way. Do you understand? You don't do things like that, you don't get it verbal, you keep it still. Do you understand, mate? Thank you, on your way.
Every time the police see trouble in the surrounding streets, they snuff it out before it can begin.
I ain't going to tell you again, mate, all right?
And they don't hold back in keeping the fans moving along.
Where you going, mate? I'm on my own. I know you haven't, mate. Don't be stupid, all right? Yeah, but listen, I know what you're saying.
Others need to be physically shown what to do.
You've been warned twice now. Move on now.
With alcohol fueling the situation, the police again form a human barrier to keep the fans apart.
Just keep an eye on this guy. Can you just, what I want to do here is just make sure this sort of area here we don't get Chelsea hanging around with people in the queue, yeah? Right. You take him down there, Frank. I appreciate that. Spending the night in the cells, all right?
But there is always someone who chances their arm too far. And when they do, they're nicked. One by one, those that kick off are pulled out. For the majority of the fans making their way home, it's been a peaceful match. They are unaware that it was the police's zero-tolerance attitude to troublemakers that kept it peaceful. Within the 6 square miles of the West London borough of Hammersmith and Fulham, the Metropolitan Police come down hard on anyone who steps out of line. And they're even tougher on gangs and gang members. It is estimated that there are over 150 gangs in London with approximately 5,000 hardcore members. Hammersmith and Fulham's police units show no mercy to any gang member they come across on their patch.
We've got a very positive policy, the way in which we deal with any youth gangs who we know are up to mischief or are troublemakers or thieves. Quite simply, what we do is we suppress them, we get in their face and we bully them so that they realise they are not the bullies on this area.
Hammersmith Police Station and the drug squad and the TSG are being briefed for a dawn raid. Their target is a suspected gang member who's boasted on the internet about guns and violence.
Linked to the MDP Street gang and is now being linked to the newly formed IOC gang, Intelligence Over Cops or Instruments of Cruelty. Obviously, as you're probably aware, the blue bandana is normally associated with MDP, and we're told that the IOC are using a black and white one. He flashes firearms. This is down to the fact that he posed on the internet with a firearm. He's rapping about drugs and guns and stabbings.
Under cover of darkness, the TSG, the Metropolitan Police Territorial Support Group, assemble outside the suspect's home. There's no messing about. These boys go in hard. The entry is executed with surgical precision, but the suspect isn't there. Although the police intelligence was good, the house is empty.
Yeah, well, we've done what we could, mate. We've done all the research that indicated that was what was happening here.
Undeterred, they move on to the next address where another suspected gang member is reported to be living. The element of surprise is essential in any forced entry, and when this elite unit goes in, it goes in fast and loud. But this entry is causing more noise than usual. They've tripped the burglar alarm. The raid is successful. They've caught the suspect and the search is already turning up some interesting items.
I don't like him. No. We found some cannabis in there. There's groups, a piece of paper with gang members on. Oh, right. This book about shootings and... Yeah, brilliant. We need to speak to him at the station.
Is that a bomb?
Upstairs in the subject's bedroom, we found a quantity of cannabis, some digital weighing scales, and some literature indicating that he's involved in gang-related violence, which was what the intelligence we had on him was about anyway. So it's kind of like confirmed that. At this stage, I mean, he's a juvenile, he's been arrested on suspicion of supplying drugs, and he'll be taken back to the police station and interviewed.
This suspect is taken back to the police station for questioning. But they have not given up on the search for the main suspect. Intelligence has now come up with new information on an address where the main suspect gang member might be found. Surrounded